Okay, let's talk about a very interesting question. In retinal artery occlusion, central retinal artery occlusion, or branch retinal artery occlusion, let's talk about CRAO, central retinal artery occlusion. Very interesting phenomena is when you're looking in fundoscopy, what you will see is instead of a normal fundoscopy with here is the fovea and here is the optic nerve and its blood vessels, instead this normal normal fundoscopy, let's call it normal, what you're going to see is in fundoscopy you will see the fovea, but everything around the fovea will appear pale. So let's take a white color, and around the fovea, if you can see it, it's quite pale. Now the interesting question is why? Why here is the optic nerve and blood vessels. So why in RAO we see this pale area? It's because of ischemia. In RAO the artery is occluded, the retinal artery is occluded. So what we are seeing is the area for which there is no blood. But there is still a question. Look at the center of this, look at the fovea. The fovea looks fine. The fovea is not pale, even though all the area around the fovea is pale because of the lack of blood vessels, because of the lack of blood that gets to the place because of the occlusion. The fovea looks fine, and this phenomenon is interesting. Why? Why the fovea looks fine and not pale? The answer is in how the retina and the fovea differ in its construction. When we're talking about the retina, the normal retina, there are layers, right? Now, one of the layers, for example, the ganglion cell layer, there are more layers that what I want to talk about them, to tell about them, that there are no knot in fovea. Namely, there are layers of retina, they are not in the fovea. And because of this, we can see different supply of blood vessels to each of them. When we are talking about the retina that is not the fovea, the blood vessel, the blood comes from two areas, the retinal arteries and the choroid. When we are talking about the fovea, when we're talking about the fovea, the only blood supply is from the choroid. There is no blood supply from retinal artery and etc. So when we're talking about retinal artery occlusion, we are talking about defect, ischemia, blockage, thrombus in the retinal artery, not in the choroid. But if the choroid stays fine, it means that the fovea will stay fine, but the retina that should get these blood vessels won't be fine and will be pale. This is the reason why in retinal artery occlusion, central retinal artery occlusion, CRAO, or branch retinal artery occlusion, BRAO, we will see pale retina around the fovea, and this is called this surrounding pale with center. This is called the cherry, because the fovea looks red, it's cherry red spot. And this is the reason for this. There are also genetic inherited diseases like Niemann-Pick and I think also Tay Sachs that also cause this presentation. And you will also think why it causes only pale in the surrounding area and not in the fovea. And again, the explanation is quite the same. The ganglion cell layer is only in the retina, not in the fovea. And in Tay Sachs and Niemann-Pick, there are problems in the ganglion cell layer in the retina, not in the fovea. So again, the fovea looks fine and the surrounding retina is pale. And again, we get this phenomena, this image, this how it looks as a cherry red spot. Thank you very much. This is the reason for cherry red spot in fundoscopy, especially in retinal artery occlusion, but not only. Thank you very much, and that's it.